fellow Homo sapiens? It's your boy Uzumaki Hadou, and I'm coming at you with a new deck profile. Something on YuGiOh. I call it the Burgesstoma Force. That's right, Burgesstoma Force, a all-trap deck. This is my first build. Now, there's a disclaimer I want to say here. This is not one of those competitive decks. This is one of the decks that's just for fun. You know, you just want to have fun. You just kind of want to play around outside a tournament or something of that nature. So, if you don't know what Burgesstomas are, Burgesstoma monsters are Korean exclusive aqua monsters. That's basically, they're all traps, but they special summon each other out the graveyard when a trap card is played. So I'm not going to pronounce these names. The names are extremely difficult to pronounce, and I just butcher them every time I try to pronounce them. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the effects and how this deck works. So the first one we have is 3 of this guy. Basically what this card do is you can discard a Burgesstoma trap from your hand and draw 2 cards. He's going to allow you to draw. He speeds the deck up just a little. Now this man here, I really like him for a simple reason. He destroys 1 spell or trap card on the field. Doesn't matter, you can destroy your own spell or trap card or one of your opponent's spell or trap cards. And not just that, when you play this card, if there's a Burgesstoma monster in your graveyard, you special summon it out the graveyard. So strong. This man here, he has the attack and defense of your opponent monsters by half. Now, this guy, Canderous, I believe that's how you pronounce the name. I'm running 3 of all Burgesstoma monsters. Now, this guy here is a Book of Moon. So, if your opponent summons a monster or you got a monster you want to book face down, great card. It's like 3 books in your deck. This man here, basically what he does is he allows you to return 1 banished card back to the graveyard. A lot of cards these days are banishing and getting some type of benefit from it. So you can grab one of your opponent cards that's banished, send it back to the graveyard, or if there's a Burgesstoma monster card that's banished, you can send it back to your graveyard. Now, one thing is when a Burgesstoma monster is special summoned, when it's removed from the field, it doesn't go to the graveyard, it is banished instead. Instead of, if it's in the seed material, it will go to the graveyard. Now, this is another one of the new Burgesstoma support. This card, I feel like, is really, really strong. Basically, what you do, you discard a card and target 1 face-up card on the field, banish it. Your opponent does a whole bunch of work, get that big monster on the field, banish it. They get that 1 spell or trap card that is going to benefit if it goes to the graveyard, banish it, love it. Now, this guy here, I really don't care too much for it, but because he's a Burgesstoma monster, I need all the Burgesstoma monsters. I like to run monster heavy, even though they're all monster traps. Basically, what this card does is he boosts 1 face-up monster, 500 attack, 500 attack, 500 defense. He's okay. And finally, 3 of this Marilla, I believe that's how you pronounce the name. Basically, what this card does, he sends 1 trap card from the deck to the graveyard, and basically he speeds the deck up. You really want to get your Burgesstoma traps in the graveyard, so once you play some more traps, they can special summon each other. Now for the forces. So I played Mirror Force. Main reason, it's just fun, but not just that. They're all traps, and they hurt your opponent seriously. So you have 3-star Mirror Forces. You're going to bounce that stuff back to your opponent's hand. You're going against Magic Specters. Well, guess what? Bounce it back to the hand. You're playing 2 regular Mirror Forces, basically destroy all your opponent monsters that's in attack mode. And this card is great. All these Mirror Forces are great because, once again, you play a Mirror Force, special summon a Burgesstoma out of the graveyard. So your opponent has no monsters, and you just +1. Dust Mirror Force, basically put all your opponent monsters face down, ass up. That's how I like it. And now we have Fire Mirror Force. I think you pronounce that as Blazing Mirror Force in the TCG. Basically, destroy all the monsters. You take half, and your opponent take half of all the attacks. I believe that's how it works. And I like this for the main reason is it burns your opponent. And not just that, I mean, with Burgesstoma, it's really difficult for your opponent to hit you. Now, unless they're playing like Tier 0 or that Counter Fairy deck that allows you to summon like 10 Solemns, it's just, I mean, like search out 10 Solemns, or it's just crazy. This deck is not going to beat something like that top tier. But like, just to have fun, regular type of deck that's not really top tier, it does pretty decent. And then we have Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I feel like this card is definitely a VIP in the deck for the main reason when your opponent attacks, you can negate their attack and you can set it face down and you can play it again next turn. So each time you play it, you know you're going to special summon a Burgesstoma monster out of the graveyard. You know it. And finally, this is kind of a experiment. I heard from a few people, try this in your deck, and so far I'm loving it because I don't play spell cards and I don't have any real monsters that I play. So this right here shuts down a lot of decks. A lot of decks out there is playing Penimums, and that new Counter Fairy Pendulum deck, you flip that first turn, they usually kind of scoop it up. This card is pretty strong. So now we have the extra deck. Now we have 3 of this guy here. He is awesome. Basically, you need 3 or more level 2 monsters, and basically he's unaffected by other monster effects, and once per turn, you can detach 1 trap card. I mean, if the trap card is sent to the graveyard while this card is on the field, on your side of the field, you can draw 1 card. If it's a trap card, you add it to your hand, and if it's not, you send it to the graveyard. So because this is all traps, you're going to always be adding a card. It's insane. Not just that, you can detach 1 material from this card and blow up something on the field. So you can do it on your opponent's turn, and I just love it. I mean, you got to think, like, okay, your opponent attacks, and you play something like Mirror Force. Your opponent monsters die, you special summon a monster, Mirror Force goes to the graveyard, then you draw a card. If it's a trap card, you add it to your hand. Wow. Now we have this new guy, Opiabun, something of that nature. Oh my god, that name is just so difficult to pronounce. Now at first, I really didn't give this card any credit, but let's talk a little bit about the effect. So first and first, you need 2 level 2s to make this card. It's unaffected by other monster effects. And you can search a Burgesstoma trap card from your deck and add it to your hand. Now, at first, I was like, it's not all that. But not just that. I mean, you can also play your Burgesstoma trap cards from your hand. So, as I start to try this out and start to play it, it became extremely strong. It really speeds the deck up. Because, first and first, you can search out any of your Burgesstoma traps from your deck. That's strong enough. But not just that, you can play your trap cards from your hand. That is really great because there's a lot of people out there who's playing a lot of destruction for back row. So I can keep my traps in my hand, maybe set my Mirror Forces, and set my Scarecrow, and keep my Burgesstomas in my hand. So if they do something, I have those cards. I mean, it just blows their mind when it's their turn. They play like a spell card, and I use a Burgesstoma from their hand to destroy that spell or trap card, or banish one of their monsters or one of their cards they really want to use from my hand. It's just incredible. But not just that, once you play it from the hand, your Burgesstoma monsters activate in the graveyard and special summon on the field. So having this guy here and this guy here on the field, you're going to be plussing because you're going to be able to search cards from your deck, add it to your hand, play those trap cards. Not just that, once those trap cards is played and they sent to the graveyard, well, guess what? This guy kicks in, allows you to draw a card. If it's a trap, you're adding into your hand. So you're always plussing, and it's amazing. Now, I have quite a few other level 2s in there, rank 2s in there. This guy, he's okay, and we have Disgusto Phoenix. He's a great card because you detach, target himself, he attacks twice, that's 3,000 attack, and then we have 2 other random cards. Now, for my side deck, it's not complete. I'm just trying some random things in there. Right now, the best thing I have in my side deck is Apparent Iron Wall, stop people from banishing things. Hands down, I really want to stop. We have another Blazing Mirror Force, and we have a Ring of Destruction, and not just that, we have MST, Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, the biggest weakness for this deck is going to be World Decree and Genzo. So when flips World Decree, go ahead to game 2. You're not going to win. Nothing's going to happen. This deck is very easy to beat. However, they don't have that World Decree. They don't have that Genzo. And they're not playing tier 0 or tier 1. It's usually going to be a fun match or a very irritating match for your opponent. So let's go ahead and look at some of these duels and see how this deck plays. Alright, my fellow Homo sapiens, this is your boy Hadou, and we're about to watch Burgesstoma in action. The first deck we're going up against is Shawdall Clowns. So what he's going to do is go for Dragon, destroy one of my back row. We're going to get that Burgesstoma monster in the graveyard. He goes for Noten. He wastes no time to get in the seed out. We're going to go ahead and book that. He's going to play Maxi, but we're not going to special summon anything for the main reason we don't want him to draw. We'll take this damage to the face. That is not an issue. So we got that Apparent Iron Wall. So right now, it's not really looking too good for me, but we're going to keep on playing. We're going to battle this out. So we're gonna go ahead and flip that Imperial Iron Wall to stop our Burgesstoma monster from being banished. So we're gonna go ahead and flip that Mirror Force. That's right, he negates the summon, it stays in the graveyard. However, he's going to lose those monsters. So we took another 1300. But it is okay because we just ripped into a Burgesstoma monster. Let's go ahead. Let's get some special summoning going. So we're going to go ahead and draw 2 cards. We're going to set both of them. We're going to play that Storm and Mirror Force. Special summon another Burgesstoma out of the graveyard. That's right. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and destroy that. Face down, he has to special summon another Burgesstoma out of the graveyard. Now we're starting to come back. So we're going to special summon another Burgesstoma out of that graveyard. And we're still in battle, so we're going to give him the good old 1-2. He special summoned that heroic champion out of the grave. It's okay. So now we have the Burgesstoma monster that can book one of his monsters. Such a strong card, especially because we can play it from my hand. So he gets rid of Imperial Iron Wall. He should have got rid of that back row. He should have got rid of the face down, not the Imperial Iron Wall. But he wanted to use his clowns. It is okay. Let's go ahead and book that monster. We don't want him doing anything. And there we go. That Dust Mirror Force putting his monsters face down, ass up. So now we're going to plus just a little bit here. Let's go ahead and add another Burgesstoma card to our hand. And there you have it. So we're going to blow up his face down window. He takes 1,000. And we're just going all in. So our Burgesstoma monsters cannot be affected by that monster effect. So we're going to go ahead and blow it up. There's nothing he can really do about it. And it's about to be GG. So let's go ahead and destroy that. Special summons back to the field. It is okay. We're just going to go all in right now. Let's go ahead and draw 2 cards. That's right. And then add 2 more cards to our hand. That was a +5, my fellow Homo sapiens. Now we have field control and hand control. And let's banish that monster. Get it off the field. And that's GG. Alright, so it's time for another Burgesstoma matchup. I believe we're going against Lightsworns. That's right. So we flip that spell, anti-spell fragrance. First turn, make him put those cards face down. We don't want him playing his spell cards at all right now. We want him to wait 1 full turn before we play those cards. And as you see here, we're going to go ahead and start special summoning a lot of these monsters out of the graveyard, or these traps out of the graveyard. Even though they're only 1200 attack, they can still attack over some monsters. So he plays that Rhoda. So right now I have the upper hand. So I notice a lot of decks is mixing this clown engine in their decks. I mean, you got the clown Shadows and now the clown Lighthorn. So we got that Mirror Force. We're going to take that to the face. That's right, we special summon another Burgesstoma monster out of the graveyard. So let's go ahead and search for some stuff. So we got the Burgesstoma monster that books one. He special summons Judgment. We booked that Judgment Dragon. That's right. We special summon another Burgesstoma monster out of the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and destroy our anti-spell fragrance to go ahead and special summon another Burgesstoma out of the graveyard. Flip another one. So we can go into our other Exceed. We want to get rid of that Judgment Dragon. So let's go ahead and search. And let's blow Judgment Dragon up. That's right. He takes 24 to the face. And it's not looking too swell for him right now. So we just ripped into a Storming Mirror Force. We're going to go ahead and give him another 24 to the face. Set that Storming Mirror Force just in case. And let's go ahead and get rid of that face down. Special summon another Burgesstoma monster out of the graveyard. And we're going to add another Storming Mirror Force from our deck to our hand. And this is going to definitely be GG. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel. Matane.